I have the pleasure of speaking with this sexy man, Tinashe Dennis Emmanuel. He is a stylist. He is a costume designer. He is a creator. I actually discovered him on YouTube. He was talking about style archetypes, and it just inspired me to want to have a conversation with him. And he really focuses on helping professionals turn their image into their asset. And that to me, so juicy, because as a dating coach for men, I know how important it is to have a style that, like, it just exudes this confidence because women notice it. And so these outfits
Absolutely.
we're going to go through today are going to help you understand what women find to be attractive and how you can start creating your own wardrobe or refining what you've already got in your wardrobe. And I thought, what better person to speak to than this man? So without further ado, let's welcome Tinashe. Thank you so much for your time and speaking with me. I'm super excited.
Oh, wow. That is quite an introduction, Sarah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reaching out. I'm really excited about speaking with you. I love your content. I love the passion and the energy that you're giving men, inspiring men all around the world to really not be afraid and to go out there and find the love of their life or have fun and just express themselves, have a great time with you lovely ladies, of course. So
Yes.
style is a big part, a major part of dating and attraction, as much as it affects you in all the other areas of life. And that's really what drives me, is helping men, just give them those percentage points to win.
Yeah, I can already feel this
Yeah,
conversation is going to be fire.
exactly.
I would love to take a step back and find out just a little bit about yourself because for those of you watching, this is the first time that we've actually met and we're just diving
Yes.
into this. So I would love to know about your journey. Like, how did you even get into this? Did you stumble into it? Did you always know you were this passionate about styling or clothing and fashion? Yeah, like how did this happen for you?
It's a strange one, really. It actually started when I was at university. I was studying business. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, but I was always talented at drawing and creativity and in school and
Mm,
everything like that. So I used to like to draw cars. So I had pictures of cars on my wall in my dorm at university. And when my best friend, John, he still reminds me of this day, he asked me to draw, basically he asked me to draw a sketch of Sonic on his hat. He had a white
yeah.
New Era fitted cap. And he asked me to draw Sonic on it with markers because he had seen it on TV in a rap video or something. So I took his cap, I got some marker pens and sketched Sonic on his cap. He wore it on a student night out, and literally everyone on campus went nuts. Yeah, everyone went nuts about, like, "Whoa, where'd you get this cap from?" "Oh, my boy T did it." And everybody started kind of dropping clothes into my dorm and saying, "Oh, can you put Daffy Duck or Tweety Bird on my t-shirt and on my basketball?" So I started customizing clothes and had a little business running at uni. And that's kind of like where it started with clothes for me. I wore. So I would remember we would go out shopping for shoes. My mum would spend going to one shop and buy shoes for my brothers. They'll be like, "Yeah, I like those."
Yeah.
We'll spend the rest of the day looking for shoes for me because I was so particular. So even
Ah,
my school uniform was well tailored. I like my trousers skimming much. I was always particular about what I wore, and
why
I
do you
didn't realize
say
that these were
is that
the keys were there. Yeah.
yeah, was it yeah, was there an influence, like things you were consuming or like peers that you learned that from, or you've just always been that way?
I think it's always been that way. My auntie, my mum's younger sister, she's quite she used to babysit us, and she was quite particular about making sure that we looked good.
Ah,
Um, and I don't know, I think that was the first time kind of communicate, like working, like not working, but her dressing me and me thinking about what I'm wearing and how it looks and how it's sitting. I think that's my first memory of thinking about what I wore.
so with your
And
auntie, we have to thank your auntie for
yeah,
the
you have to
fashion.
thank my auntie Mercy. Hi, auntie.
Mercy. Thank you, Auntie Mercy. We appreciate you. Wow, okay. Thank you for sharing that. It does like give
Yeah,
us context about the journey because I think there's some men that really love fashion and like
yeah,
your journey get into it. And then there's men that have absolutely zero idea about it. Like they're
sure.
just not as, they don't get drawn to it. And so they get to a point in their life, whether in their professional lives or in their dating lives, and they think,
Yeah,
oh, why aren't I, not that it's everything, but it's a huge part of it. So it's awesome that
absolutely.
you've been doing this for most of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing it for coming on 20 years now. So I started in my teenage years customizing clothes. Then I had a fashion business, I had a fashion label, and then I got into costume design. I still do costume design, so I do design for films. And then I style music videos, celebrities, red carpet. But now what I'm really focusing on is working with individuals, everyday men, from CEOs to teachers to sports people, whatever profession you are. I'm really passionate about elevating men's style and helping them reach their goals through the power of style. Yeah.
I have a question, because it sounds
Sure.
like you work with such an array of different kinds of people. And
Yeah.
in this case, we're speaking predominantly to men, but it makes me think of like the video where I found you speaking about archetypes, because if you're a CEO, I'd assume you'd probably have a different style to an athlete or a musician or something like that. So could you talk about that a little bit? Like how, what's the history of like who came up with these archetypes? And I think your video, you were talking about there being 7. Is there more than that? Or what are your thoughts on that?
7 is the number that I came up with when I was thinking about what are the different archetypes involved in men's style. I came up with 7 holistic ways we can look at, okay, the type of archetypes. And an archetype is different to a stereotype. Really, the person who popularized it was Carl Jung, who was, anybody who's looked into psychology, very influential psychologist. And he came up with this concept of archetypes, which are different to stereotypes. Stereotypes are sort of pigeonholing a particular person based on a social construct, basically. So you may look at somebody from a particular background and you stereotype them as they're X, Y, Z. But archetypes are actually figures and stories that we use to describe a particular behavior in human beings. So, for example, a popular one that everybody can relate to is heroes. We all have heroes. We all have somebody who's larger than life, who achieves things. And there are certain people who evoke that sort of heroic archetype, that heroic essence about them. And then there are people who are caregivers, who embody the idea of looking after others, thinking about others. Then there are people who are romantic, and all these ideas are weaved into all cultures. All cultures have archetypes. So Western culture, for example, we have James Bond.
Yeah.
Classic hero archetype. He's a hero archetype, and he's also a classical archetype, because he's the classic sort of English gentleman, but he's also a hero. He saves the world, gets the girl. So that's like a popular figure that everybody will relate to as an archetype of a hero. Then you've got somebody who is, say, a caregiver would be someone like Mother Teresa, for example. Classic person who lives a life that's all about giving and caring for others. So when it comes to style, in terms of how you appear and how you carry yourself, you are evoking certain ideas and thoughts by what you're wearing. You are communicating something to the world. You're communicating something to yourself, and you're communicating something to the world. So, for example, there's a popular show, you ever watch Suits?
Yes.
For example? Yes. Well, that's a really popular show for the idea of power suits.
Yes.
So if you've got a CEO or a top lawyer or a politician, you're in a position of power. You're in a position of making decisions that influence a lot of people. You're in a position of great responsibility, and your mistakes reverberate and affect other people. So you need to evoke an archetype of strength, an archetype of being trustworthy, an archetype of dominance. Wow. So it's serious work, and serious work requires a serious suit. It requires serious armor, because an armor is both the defense and also a sign that I can attack you. So when you're going into business and you wear a proper suit that evokes the right ideas, you're saying, hey, I'm really powerful and I can hurt you, but I'm also really trustworthy. So if you be my partner, we can go out and dominate. Yes. So that's what a power suit is evoking to other people. Then there's men who are very romantic, and you think of an Italian gentleman, the archetypical Italian gentleman with a tailored fashion suit, with dark hair, glasses. He is exotic, he's handsome, he's mysterious. Women love that romantic archetype. Someone like Michael B. Jordan is another example of somebody who evokes that romantic, idealistic stud.
And they almost seem a little bit more relaxed. I don't know, like whether it's the way they behave, but yes, they've kind of still got that polished look, but they're relaxed in it. I'm not sure.
There's a carefreeness about it. Yeah, exactly. It's very relaxed, and it's almost like success. Everything comes easy. Everything is elegant and smooth. Whereas it's not like a CEO who takes himself extremely seriously and you know, everybody must know that I'm in the room. That's a different sort of archetype. So all these archetypes we evoke both naturally, but also what I want to teach men is how you can evoke these archetypes intentionally.
Yes,
But not,
yeah,
yes, go for it, but not in an inauthentic way, in an authentic way.
we're on the exact same brainwave
Sure.
here, because I go, let's say, for example, you want to be a bad boy, which a lot of guys
Yes.
think, okay, you know, women want a bad boy, for example.
Yeah.
But what if that doesn't match in with who you are? Because
Exactly.
if you start to wear that kind of clothing, but it's out of alignment with you, it's going to feel really
Yes.
off. And so maybe you do want that kind of look, but it has to be integrated with who you are. And so that's why I like
Indeed.
you use the word holistic, because I
Yeah.
love more holistic approaches to this, because you don't want to get to the top or to have a girlfriend that likes
Yeah.
you for the person you created that isn't actually who you are. So yeah,
Exactly. Perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect. And that's what I try to get men is to take a little bit of introspection, is to get out of their bubble and actually look at, you know, when I do like a wardrobe edit with a client and say, look at the clothes you're wearing and think about if you saw yourself wearing this clothes, what would you think about this person? What would you think? Because one thing I try to get men to think about is that, remember, women, when they look at you, they're assessing, they're gathering information, and there is a psychological um, uh, 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 phenomenon, if you want to call it, called thin slicing, whereby when you meet somebody, we take a thin slice based on what we see. We take a thin slice of what we see, and from that thin slice, within 30 seconds, we've basically created a whole avatar in our mind of in our minds of what we think that person is. That's
It's
how
true.
important a first impression is.
Oh gosh, you're speaking my language. It's so true. And it's not
Yeah.
even a superficial response. It's such a
No,
human, you know, we judge.
it's very human.
It
It's
is.
human. Yeah,
It's a human,
it's biological.
yeah, you kind of, as you put it, you gather this information about this person. Like
Yeah,
for men, if you meet a woman and she's dressed in a certain way, you're making an assumption about what kind of person she may be with what your relationship is to her style or the way she's portraying herself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we
exactly,
already have these
exactly,
preconceived ideas through movies, through our own life experiences of what this
exactly.
person might be from what they're wearing. Or she might be conservative. Something I love, and I know we're kind of going off road here, but I kind of like the idea of presenting in, let's say, a classic way, but acting in a very relaxed or cheeky way, which it doesn't quite
Exactly.
fit the clothing.
Throw a curveball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get really
perfect,
excited about the exploration of bringing those together, kind of like a painting, you know?
perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And being unpredictable and always having, I call them from a style point of view, I call them personality pieces. So you may be very sensitively dressed in a shirt, in a suit, in a tie, and then you wear wacky socks. Just throw something in there, and that is a conversation starter. Like, oh, your socks are interesting. Bang, you break the ice.
Yeah, at the cafe, like 10
At
minutes
the
ago
cafe.
before I got in this call,
Exactly.
that's exactly what happened. And my girlfriend's, no, it was actually our guy friend that was there. He said, I love your jacket, man. He had this beautiful, like, pink jacket on.
Yeah.
Then he begins to tell us, oh, I actually got it at this kind of strange free store in Vegas. We're like, oh,
Absolutely.
where is this strange free store? But then he shared something about why he was wearing this pink jacket. And he said, oh, today, like, Nicki Minaj's new album comes out.
Oh, wow.
And
There
so
you go.
he had this connection to why, and it's a conversation starter. Like, we never would have been able to have that, but he had this real connection to why he was wearing the piece.
Sarah, I love that. I love that. Gentlemen, listen, your style, forget about pickup lines. What you wear is your pickup line. That's the cheat code, guys. That is the cheat code. If you can wear something interesting, that just stands out, because most men are wallpaper, guys. Most men are wallpaper to women. We all just wear safe clothes. We don't think about it. But the guys who do really well with ladies, they understand that you've got to be the wolf in the pack. You've got to be the alpha in the pack. You've got to have something about you that's different. You may not be 6'2". You may not be rich. You may not look like whoever you think she thinks you should look like.
Well,
But your style will say, he's different. I haven't seen that. Well, that's an interesting color, as you said, the blazer.
yeah,
And that's your cheat code. Yeah.
exactly. Oh, yeah, this is just hopefully inspiring whoever's watching this, because it does mean so much. And to be honest, I actually sat down with a young guy the other day with my friend, and he's a very successful guy. Like he's, you know, earns millions of dollars. His style is absolutely shocking. I was just like, no amount of money. I just can't.
No, no. You can buy fashion, you can't buy style.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Now, I know we're conscious of time, but if there's any more archetypes you want to share, please do. However, Tinashe does have a video on this. I'll link it into this video, so please go check it out. I think it's called the 7 Archetypes of Style. I'm not sure.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It is. Okay, I'll put it here so you can go and check that out in further depth, because he really goes into that. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's some more that you think are relevant to the dating scene, but I like the 2 examples we've gone through already.
Great.
The classic man and the romantic man, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Check it out, guys. And, you know, you'll find yourself in 1 or 2 of those archetypes. You'll say, oh, that's me. That's me. I always get that response with people.
Yes. And would you say that that's the starting point for men on this journey of discovering their style? Like if they have no idea, it's like, to me, having that structure of, okay, you know, I'm a little bit of this archetype and a little bit of that. So now cool. So that's like step 1.
Exactly. That's like step 1. You've got a reference point. You've got something to refer to say, okay, that's my starting point. This identifies with who I am. This speaks to me. And then that's your starting point in terms of how we can then build up your style and come up with something unique just for you.
Beautiful. So what would you say would be the practical step 2?
So practical step 2 is taking an inventory. Obviously, the clothes are going on your body. So you need to have a look at your body and start to think about, okay, you know, stylists, we call it body shape analysis. Just thinking about, okay, which part of my body am I very proud of? And which part of my body I'm not so proud of? So is it, you know, maybe you like that you got athletic shoulders, but you don't like, maybe you're a bit soft in the belly. Maybe you feel like your legs are too short. Maybe you feel like your neck is too long. All these things will ebb away and chip away at our self-confidence. I know some men out there who don't care about what they look like, what their body shape is like, but it's a really important element of dressing well, is understanding your body, taking a look at your body and thinking, okay, what are the dimensions? What are my proportions? And how can I balance out my proportions? What type of clothing will work on my proportions? And this is why you shouldn't follow trends. You use trends, you don't follow them, because some trends may not fit your body shape. It may not work for you. Nothing wrong with the trend, but is it working for you? People always ask me, oh, what do you think about trends? I say, look, does the trend work for you? If it doesn't work for you, you can step aside. You know, Crocs don't work for me. It doesn't work for my personality. It doesn't make sense in my universe, right?
Not for me either. And I keep seeing it, and I keep feeling like, should I be influenced to wear the Crocs? I don't think I've worn Crocs since I was 12 years old. I think I had a pair of pink.
Yeah, it's something that you used to see your uncle wear, you know, in the garage. It's just like, you know, I don't know which rapper wore it.
There is a huge trend. Like people go to those stores to get the little things you poke into them. Like, it's a real...
It's a whole thing. It's a whole movement. It's crazy.
Yeah, cool. I like that. So don't follow trends, but how would this trend work for me? Or is there something?
Exactly. So that's the next point, is once you figure out your style archetype, then you take a look at yourself, you do an introspection, you look at yourself, you look at your body shape, you look at your skin tone, take a look at your image and just think, okay, this is where I am today. I need to improve myself. You may be on a fitness regime and you maybe say, okay, I'm going to be 10 pounds lighter in 6 months, but don't style the person in 6 months. Style the person you are today. Work on that. So that's the next point, really, is taking an introspection and look at where you are right now.
Yeah, and look, I think this is a powerful exercise for your own self-development, because you might have never even looked at yourself in the mirror like this. You may have never actually gone, whoa, okay, I haven't actually looked at all my body parts and how I feel. What's my relationship with them? And
what's your relationship with yourself? Exactly.
And then I always say to clients, again, like, I'm not a stylist, but I have an understanding, a base knowledge of it. I always say, well, what do you have in your wardrobe to start with? Like, if you were to go on a casual date or a formal date, send me through what you would wear, because at least then it's like, okay, we can see what you have to work with after, you've discovered and done the introspection. It just makes sense. You've already got clothes in your wardrobe that might work for that archetype that you've discovered.
Exactly. So you look at your wardrobe and you think, I call them allies and enemies. What's an ally? What what's in our army and helping us conquer, you know, our enemy, go out there and conquer women. What is it that's helping us? What's making me look more attractive? This is an ally. This stays. This is an enemy. This makes me look frumpy. This makes me feel frumpy. Your feelings, I know men, we don't really like to engage our feelings, but how you feel is very important because that's what women sense when they're around you. Women can smell confidence and they can smell a lack of confidence. They can smell the phoniness. They can, guys. So you need to understand when you put on the right clothes, it makes you feel so much more confident. You literally feel like a knight in armor. You can conquer the world when you're in the right clothing. You can.
I absolutely love the way you're describing that. And that is so good, looking at your wardrobe, like your armor, and you're going out to war, whether it's just to fight the day socially, you know, to feel confident socially, or at work, in your career, or with dating. That's an ally or an enemy. Remember that, gentlemen. I love that.
Remember that, gentlemen.
Yeah, because you know, it's interesting, you know, as a woman and someone who I would say, like, I have an interest in style. I really like that kind of like old school chic, like elevated elegance. I don't know. You probably know what it's called more than me, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
What you do? Yeah. What is it? What is it?
No, it's classical elegance, and it's not as common as you would like it to be these days.
No, it's not. And I think that's part of why I like it. And my personality is quite diverse. You know, I don't take life too seriously. I'm very playful. But there's something about that combination of elegance and silliness that I really love.
I love silliness. I love that little, having a sense of humor with your style.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And people don't expect it. They think, ooh, you know, and I'm not good with, I'm not sure what style it would be for women, but sometimes I put like a very, you know, fitted, very tight dress and it just doesn't work. Like, I don't walk out feeling like this is an ally. I feel like I'm very self-conscious and uncomfortable. I'm a very functional type of person, Tanasha. Like you know, I might be moving my body a lot or jumping on someone to say hello. So sometimes when I'm in my very high heels and a dress that's functional for me, like I still want the elegance, but I want it to be functional because my behavior, because my personality. So I have to.
You need to get that personality out. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're working out allies and enemies, and then where are we at? I like this journey.
Yeah. So now we know what's working for us. So I'm quite ruthless, right? So I'm like, if something is not working for you, cut it off.
What about if you have a sentimental relationship with it, though? What do you? I've had
these
this
days. Listen, your next date could be that one girl you've been trying to get her for ages. That one girl you've been trying to get her attention at work. Listen, my friend. It's, as I said, it's cold. It's a cold world out there in the dating ally. Do you want this girl or not? Do you want to meet the girl of your dreams or not? Do you want to get laid or not? You know? So if you want to win with these ladies, I'm trying to help you. You got to be ruthless.
Yeah.
You got to be ruthless. If something's not working for you, bro, cut it off. Okay? And you know, because we're trying to win here. We're in the game to win. We're not playing the game just to play. We're not participating. We're here to win.
Yes. I always say to them, like, you are the prize. A lot of guys, they don't realize that you are the prize. You are the most, like, you are the desirable person in this room.
You are the man.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. You are the man. You are the man. She's a princess, but you're a king. She becomes a queen when you put the ring on the finger. Okay? You're the one who's going to get the princess, kill the bad guy, get the princess, and make her a queen. You are the prize. You know?
Kings have to be ruthless. So do queens.
Kings have to be ruthless. Kings decree. They don't ask. They decree. They declare. They declare the situation. They don't ask. They don't ask for permission. So if you wanna get out there and win in this dating world, my friend, you got to be ruthless. So if something in your wardrobe is not working, we cut it off. And then what we do is we then go for it.
I was just gonna say, what about the guy that looks at his wardrobe and has no idea? Like, how do I know whether it's good or bad? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what if they don't have any skill set or knowledge with style?
Here's the deal, right? Here's how every guy, the key that any person, I don't care how frumpy and how clueless you are about clothes, you follow this, you can build a solid wardrobe. Master basics. You look at anybody successful in any field, whether it's sport, acting, engineering, business, banking, they master the fundamentals, the basics. Master the basics. That's why I said the basic first. Basic number one is take a look at your body. Basic number two, take a look at your wardrobe. Basic number three is exactly that, basics. Master the basics of wardrobe.
What are the
classic white t-shirt, a classic black t-shirt. If you can just find the right t-shirt that works for you, the right cut. Some of you guys are wearing V-necks and you got a long neck and you just look like a giraffe.
Doesn't look good. Not attractive.
You know? So like find the right t-shirt with the right cut that flatters you. Maybe you don't like, at the moment, particularly younger guys, Gen Z guys, you guys like wearing oversized stuff. Some of you guys, oversized don't work for you. I know it's trendy and cool, but you might look better in a fitted tee. You might look more flattering in a fitted tee, in a more classical cut tee, rather than the oversized off the shoulder cut. It may not work for you, right? Oversized t-shirts don't work for me. They don't work for me. I'm 5'9" and they just make me look like a box. When I wear something fitted, I look taller. It shows off my muscles because that's my strength. So I know what gives me strength. So if there's a trend that doesn't fit to me, I reject it. So that's where it all links. You see how it all links? So master basics, find out what cuts work for you. So t-shirts, jeans, all these are really, really important. A white classic white trainer, whether it's Converses, whether it's Nikes, just master the basics of your wardrobe. And there's some stores which you can go to which do basics really well and really affordable.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that as a little insight here. I know I mentioned that with, you know, whether you're a guy that has a lower budget for his clothes or a guy that can spend on some more expensive pieces. How do you go about that? I mean, I think these days, like, and a lot of the guys I work with, that if they're not passionate about fashion, they tend to want something either on the lower end or mid-range or something that will last. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they look for those pieces. So I know that you're in the United Kingdom. I am in Australia. So I've got clients in Australia, clients in Europe, and then clients in America. And I know we can't possibly give you all of the shops there are, but how do you go about choosing where to go for basics?
So I always say to my clients is, you know, price is what you pay, but quality and value is what you get. So don't look for something based on price, look on it based on value. Think about value. And what is value to you? Value is how well it fits your style objectives, how it fits your body, and how well the color suits your skin tone. So look at that, and then look at the quality and finish of the basics themselves. So t-shirts are a great sort of barometer of quality. So you pick up a t-shirt, you try it on, you see what the cut looks like on you, then you use your hands and feel the fabric. Is it soft? Does it feel good to touch? And that's a good sign of the quality. And then you look at the price. And then you think about, okay, for my budget, what's giving me the best quality and cut for my money? That's the one I buy. So don't just think, oh, Primark. That Primark is like a big sort of affordable, fast fashion store in the UK.
Primark. Yeah.
Primark. I don't know if you've got it in Australia. Yeah.
We don't.
So everybody goes there for like basic stuff, which is fine. You know, you just pick it up. But if you really want to elevate a wardrobe, don't just think, oh, Primark do it cheap, I'll go there. No. Take your time, slow down, and just go to Primark, go to H&M, and think a really good place for affordable basics. For me, where I go get my basics is Uniqlo.
Uniqlo, they are good. They have even for
really
women
good for basics.
Yeah,
and for women as well. Really good basics, and it's not too expensive.
And it's everywhere. That they have places everywhere around the world that I've been to. So that's
around the world.
Yeah.
Very, very good place for basics. It's Japanese. Japanese don't do halves.
Yes.
They're so well made. Yeah.
I love Japanese whiskey. I mean, they do everything. They got class. Like,
everything so well. Yeah. Everything so well. The only thing with Uniqlo is the sizing, because obviously it's the fitting is a little smaller than Western traditional Western brands. So just check the sizing. But in terms of fit and finish for the price you're paying, that's a really good place to go and get really good solid basics. Dark blue jeans, black jeans, white t-shirt, black t-shirt, just really rock solid basics. And then you know you've got a foundation, a wardrobe foundation of solids that you know that are good quality and they work well for my body, and I can put almost anything on top and it will look good.
Yeah.
So foundations.
So it's like the layering. So this is the foundation.
Literally, think of it like a pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. So it's I hope you guys watching you're learning stuff. I'm learning a lot even just having this conversation. So now that you've got your basics, and I think that's a great recommendation for a place to start. What's the second layer to this cake? I like it.
So the second layer is what we call staples. Well, you could technically, I would call them staples. So these are things that you spend a little bit of money on, and this is where you go to, instead of high street stores, I would say you find brands that talk to you, that speak to you. So this is when you're understanding your archetype a little bit more, and you think of the brands that evoke those kind of archetypes.
Do you know the brand? I think the clothes that they make are so hot. I find them really attractive as a woman. It's called Che. I think it is from the C-H-E, Che.
C-H-E, Che, I know them. I know, yeah.
Like it's very kind of, I don't know, relaxed resort, but I don't know, elevated like resort wear. I don't know.
It's like proper like that effortless luxury.
Effortless luxury. Boom. Yeah. I just find that to be so hot, and
literally.
Yeah. Anyway, that was I love men's clothing, and I sometimes get sad because my partner, he's very particular about his t-shirts, and he feels everything. And he's that guy that goes, I'll spend $200 on this t-shirt if
my man.
He'll go, if I got, like, I don't even try to buy him things unless I know he'll like it. So he has particular stores that he likes. So I know I'll go there. He has really good relationships with them. I'll go, look, hey, my partner always comes in. What have you got that he gravitates towards? So the guy will just show me all the things. Like, awesome. Can I have that jumper and that t-shirt? Done. Like, very simple, because he understands and knows, but he's definitely that guy. He goes for quality, and he will spend a couple of $100, but it'll last.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. For staples, you want to spend quality. You don't be afraid of spending for staples, because these are things that are not trend driven. They're not sort of a fad. These are classical pieces that you spend decent money on that will last you several years. Okay, and this is where it's a slow process. So think about the brands that speak to you. Think about the brands that work for your archetype, that idea of the person you want to look like in your head. Think about those brands. Go to those brands. Engage with them.
Something I also suggest, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I say, go to social media, have a look on Instagram, go to the men's fashion bloggers, and kind of go, like, what do you like? Who speaks to you? As in, like, who's kind of that role model? And sometimes clients will send, someone that they know, a friend of theirs, like, they're not celebrities, but they're people that they kind of look at their social media and think, oh, cool, like, I like his energy. Find a couple of people like that and go, I'm not a men's fashion blogger. I'm not out here trying to become that. I always say that, like, that's not our goal, but what can you take from what they're doing that you like?
Exactly. That's a really good tactic, is to find people who inspire you, and find people who, what they wear and what they have to say about what they wear speaks to you, resonates with your worldview and your idea of what. Yeah. So go for it.
What resonates with you? I would love to know, like, because I feel like you've got a diverse style, because today you're like rocking this like very cool like jumper with the graphic on it. In your socials, I see, you do everything because you're a stylist. Like, what's your I guess archetype that you love, or who you gravitate towards with that?
I'm a mix of a classical man and I'd say probably melodramatic. I'm like a hybrid, basically, because when I was growing up, my mum was really into a lot of I used to watch a lot of classical films. So you think of like Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby and sort of the classic old Hollywood. I used to watch a lot of old Hollywood. So I love my suits and tailored finish. But I grew up in South London. And it's a melting pot of different cultures. So obviously you got Afro-Caribbean influence. So I've got a lot of influence from like Jamaica and dancehall culture. And in London street culture. So it's kind of like I like to describe it as like Peckham meets Savile Row. So that's like my style, basically. Savile Row meets Peckham. So it's like the street edginess of South London, but then the classic refinement and sophistication of Savile Row. And that's kind of like my style. And that's probably my personality as well.
Love that. And do you know what? I think most people will relate to that, because a lot of people, once you really get to know yourself, we are all hybrids in some ways. I mean, there are some of us that are like, nah, I'm only this. And I love the people that are so sure of their identity and their style. I love that. But for me, I'm so curious as a person. So yeah, you kind of find the base, but I love the way you put that, being a hybrid. And I guess, that elevated elegance I really love. And then the playfulness and you need both. Like, because if you're, I don't know, just chilling out or it's a casual day, the street style is awesome for, I would say, casual dates if we go into the dating.
Absolutely.
Like if you rocked up to a coffee date or something, but you looked like you rocked the street style in such a sophisticated manner, that is the hottest thing. Like oh my goodness. I remember
I love that, because you can take a type of style. For example, you can go tailoring and bring it down to the street, and then you can take streets and bring it up to tailoring. You can play around with these forms of style and fashion and bend and twist them, and that's when you become a really interesting person just to observe. People just are interested in the way you dress. You become very interesting. I love what you just said there. I love that.
And I'm aware of time. I mean, this is just so incredible. So we haven't really got onto men's grooming and hair and things like that, but they're just, and colognes and this other part to it that complements the clothing. And perhaps, we don't need to rush through it. We can always do something down the track.
We can do something. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because that's like a whole nother thing.
That's a whole other world. Yeah.
The girlfriend I'm staying with is so passionate about fragrances. I don't think I've ever met a woman more passionate. Like she has hundreds of fragrances here, and she took me through almost like when you go to a wine tasting and she's going through all of the fragrances. She's like, this one, Sarah, if you're wearing leather, I would totally do this. You feel really badass, like try it. I'm like, whoa, okay, I would never choose something like that, but with the outfit, holy shit, that totally goes. And then she goes, this is very elegant, like J'adore or something, and I'm like, wow, like everything was connecting, because I've never looked into fragrances so in depth as she has, and it really inspired me. And I think inspired me, when I started to do this research into style. But I feel like it needs its own conversation.
It needs its own thing. I mean, we'll do a thing on fragrance, and I'm really sort of nerdy about it. I look into the science of it and everything, and
I love it.
There's so much there's so much you can learn about fragrance and how you can use it as a tool, because all these things are not just ways to look and smell good or look good. They're tools to help you win in life. They're actually tools to give you an edge out there, and fragrance is a massive tool in the world of dating. Absolutely,
it is. I like the way you put it on your socials. An asset. Like, how can you turn this into an asset for you in life?
Indeed.
Not just for your own self-confidence.
It's your servant. Yeah,
exactly. Your what? Your servant.
Your servants. Your style should be serving you.
Yes, serving you. I love that.
Absolutely.
It's like, again, and the armor and all the ways that you're describing it, I really love. What do you feel that we haven't covered that's important, just in conclusion, for the basics of how to style yourself or to begin this journey?
I think one of the most important things is taking risks. I think that's where men really struggle, is like, they feel like, oh, I'm not being myself if I start dressing up, or what will people think? You got to be you got to be willing to take risks.
It's accessorizing where men, they're a little scared to take those risks, beyond the watch or something, like a necklace or rings. Like, I feel like that to me is more attractive, because it tells me that this guy has the confidence, but he's explored, like he's at that stage where, or a guy that, paints his nails, which is very alternative. It's like, what that conveys is, very carefree, but also I have confidence to do this because other men aren't doing it. They're not, conforming to it.
Exactly. You're not conforming. You're not in a box, but you're living a life that's authentic, and you're being you. And authenticity is something that, just in my dating life, and just speaking to women, it's something that they're always searching for. Is what they find attractive in guys is they just feel like they can really see who he is. And women love that.
I would love to know then, okay, if you're going on a casual date, what would you wear? And if you're going on, maybe it's date 2, 3, 4, you go on a dinner or something, what's the difference of how you would show up to those dates?
I think what you want to do is, in a casual date, If it's like a first, I mean, first dates, personally, I always keep it quite low key and casual, right? Not too much pressure. I think an activity is great. I think you want to keep it simple. So, for example, like something like this, like a really easygoing jumper or something very relaxing, really comfortable to get into. Just make sure that your clothes are not too constraining. So I would avoid a suit or a blazer or anything that's too wrapped up. I would wear something relaxed so that you're in a relaxed pose.
Yeah, this date that I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
it was a kind of, it was casual, elevated casual. Is that a thing? It was like kind of
Yeah.
a utility functional. I thought it was a matching set. I'm not sure, but he had these awesome rings on, and we didn't talk about them, but I really liked them. You know, I liked, you know,
Yeah.
touching his hand and like looking at them. So it really stimulates emotionally an experience for a woman, and he smelt so good, and everything was just
Oh,
really. It was like he
this
was
is
trying,
it.
but not.
Exactly. You want to say a lot without using words because that means that you're saying a lot, but you're still mysterious because you're not chewing her ears off. So
Mm.
let what you're wearing say the words, and then she's curious. So tell me about those rings, and then you're giving her a story, telling her a story about those rings, and then she's building this
Mm.
picture of who you are, and now you're mysterious. Now you're something that she wants to unpack and find out, all because of what you're wearing, guys.
Yeah, because even if you like, you know, when if you look across at a cafe and you see somebody and you haven't exchanged anything, you're making an assumption from what they're wearing or how they look or how they
Exactly.
act. It's a
You're
whole thing.
gathering information. You're gathering data.
Oh, yeah. And then when you start talking, it's like, oh, it's another layer to it. And then it just
Indeed.
makes the whole process so much more enjoyable. And that's what I want to bring back into dating is enjoy
Hmm.
that journey of discovery of somebody.
Enjoy the process. This
Yeah,
is
and
it. That's
enjoy
what's fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
your process of finding your style. Like this is a journey, just like your self-development and finding out who you are in this world and the different
Mhm.
I would say seasons you go through as you grow
Yes.
up. You know, because you might change your style and you might want to explore something and take risks and go, oh, how do I feel? I'm going to step out today in this and like, you know, try it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and see what you unlock in yourself. Because when you dress differently, suddenly you unlock a part of your personality you might have forgotten about, and
This,
you're like, I like this guy.
exactly. It's fun, guys, and just don't take yourself that seriously. I would say take life seriously, but don't take yourself seriously.
Mm,
Just have fun with this. It's so much fun playing with your style, just playing around with things, and
yeah.
you don't need to spend a lot of money to do it. You really don't.
Yeah. I think when you're experimenting, go for the lower, like, you know, cost wise, go for things that are more affordable to play around with
Yeah,
it. Like
to play around.
ASOS, I think ASOS is a good like global brand. I recommend to, you know, if you for accessories, they're cheap. It's not, they don't really have the quality, but if you're experimenting with some rings or stuff, I feel it's a good start.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To
And see
figure
how
out
it works.
and
See how you feel in it. Yeah, yeah, and
yeah.
see what sort of feedbacks you're getting from the people around you when you experiment, and then see if you know that may help you reaffirm how you feel. So if you feel, oh, I actually like wearing rings, and you think, okay, people are kind of checking them out, or a couple people have commented, so it's actually sending out a decent message as well. So you think, okay, this could be potentially an ally in the wardrobe. Rings could be an ally. There you
Beautiful.
go.
I've really loved this conversation and I feel like it needs a sequel. So please
Yeah.
give us feedback, gentlemen. We would love to hear it. Or ladies, if you're also excited by this conversation. I know I have definitely learned a lot from it. And just start with the basics and the couple of practical steps that Tinashe shared with us, because that's where you start. I mean, you start any skill like that. And you just have to be curious and experimental with it and have fun, as we've just been talking about. So I really, really appreciate the time that you've given us today.
Oh,
And
it's been so
you
much
can,
fun.
yeah. I know that you've got your Instagram, Gent Next Door. Is that the
Yeah.
same for your YouTube, or is there another way for
On
people to?
YouTube as well, Jet Next Door. Follow me on YouTube. I do a lot of short videos, but long formats as well. So check me out on YouTube, and I'm on TikTok as well. That's Gentleman Next Door. Somebody's got the Gent Next Door handle. I'll find you.
I know, right? Like I've found for mine, I'm like how much you can sell that for? But well, how wonderful! Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we tune out?
Thanks so much for reaching out, Sarah. And yeah, all the best to your community. It's awesome what you're doing, and you're really appreciated and much needed for men today. So keep doing your thing. I'm supporting you.
Thank you. I loved it. Beautiful.